let me add a little background photo on this green screen. I was asking everybody how they did this Friday. What you guys did, what did you get into? Was it fun? Let's see. Was it a good day? I kind of want to leave her up here. Let's leave Belle. We're going to highlight Belle over there. So this Friday, so yesterday, I literally spent all day watching. I binge watched all the episodes for this show that we're watching right now, Married at First Sight, and I binge watched all the episodes of Love is Blind UK season 3, so that everything has notes. And all I have to do now is go back and record my videos for it. So if you guys are following along, highly recommend that you guys get started. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, because we're starting with episode 16. I'm going to let you guys decide what couple do you want to start with. Drop it down in here. Which couple do you guys want to start with? I personally do not care. So do with that what you will. I don't care. But tell me which couples or couple you guys want to start with. Hey, China. Yeah, so around 5, you guys know I go live. I also will tell you guys if I switch that time up. I put it in my stories. Oh, I'm up on YouTube, guys. If you don't know, That's So Trending. Go click in over there. We are going to be moving there anyway, so you might as well now, and we can start there. Devin and Caitlin, you want to start with them for episode 16. Okay. Devin and Caitlin, Belle and Mecca. I've seen that twice now. Guys, break the tie. Like, somebody else comment. Hold on. Okay, so we want to start with Devin. Okay. Secondary reminder, I'm gonna be on here for a little bit. We're about 8 minutes in, and then I'm gonna hop off and finish up this live over on YouTube. I'm already up on YouTube. If you guys want to join that stream, I recommend we do so, just so there's no interruption in your viewing experience. You're glad Devin got away. That's not episode 16. We're starting with 16, so we'll do that. China, welcome in. Hey, girl. Let me pull up my notes for episode 16. Because earlier I was working on recording for episode 17, so that should be up soon too. I think that review will probably be up Sunday for episode 17 and the recap. All right, let's casually go through the episode in chronological order, I guess, with this couple. And we agreed that it's going to be Devin and Caitlin. Devin and Caitlin. Remember, this is the couples retreat, and they do this every year. They go to the couples retreat, and that is where the couples fight. Basically, we already know the ones that are gonna end are gonna fight and fuss at this one. It's always happened that way. The episodes are set up to build to the couples retreat for that reason, and the other couples get to weigh in on your problems, which don't help nothing. Like, when none of these people are licensed marriage and family therapists, why do they get to weigh in on your couple though? I will never understand that. I don't feel like the couples are qualified to have an opinion, because half of them are in shambles. So why do you have an opinion about anybody else's relationship? I don't really like it. And in the early seasons, like seasons 1 through 5, 1 through 7 or so, the couples did not interact this much. Just so y'all are aware. When we watch older seasons of this show, the couples used to not interact. And matter of fact, they didn't even have a common apartment. All of them used to go back to their homes, like regular houses, and they would have to figure out how to make it work. So once the budget expanded, that's when they started moving everybody into the apartments. And who deemed Michelle the mother of the relationship? I have no idea. Michelle feels like she is God's gifts to these people. Like, she is the marital counselor in the group. Girl, you ain't got no degrees, no certificates, no type of certificate. What are you doing? What are you doing, Michelle? We don't know. We really don't know. Bree, welcome in, girly. How are you? And I feel as though Michelle is now overstepping because I really like Michelle. I'm starting to wonder though if the producers notice that she is the pet of the group, and so they're pushing her to the front to ask the questions that they want to ask. They like, Michelle, go ask Belle and go tell Belle about the boobs. Her boobs is too small. She got to get them worked on. Go tell her. And I can see production being that messy. If you guys did not know, I'm sorry, we're going to get into Devin and Caitlyn in a minute. But if you guys did not know, Dr. Cal or Pastor Cal said he left the show because of the ethics that, well, he didn't leave because of that. He left and he said he had not agreed with the ethics of the new production team for quite some time. And so that tells me that Peacock came in, and not only did they change the filming direction, not only did they change, like, you know, all of that, they also have decided that they don't want to do this ethically anymore. Peacock is interested in views, not ethics, when it comes to marrying these people. And I just think that that's terrible because we watch this for a real marriage. We watch this for the issues that normal couples are going to have. And I feel like they're manufacturing those issues now. He did not say all that, but that's what I gather, is that ethically he didn't feel good about the couples. And people have been saying that they choose people that they think won't match for years. And I want to make this clear. Do I think that ethically they do that? No. I think that they give them a form. They give them a piece of paper. They have a whole team behind them, and production can go and choose who they want to choose. I think that production is really the head of choosing, and the experts just stamp their label on it. Welcome in, Fumi. And because of that, it feels like the experts are responsible, but I don't think that they would always make these decisions if they weren't getting interference or pushback. And so with that, it's just different. Welcome in, everybody. We are hopping into Devin and Caitlyn of episode 16. I hope that everybody has caught up, watched at least the first episode of this trilogy. We're going to start with them. And then, as you guys know, I'm leaving off of TikTok after I get through Devin and Caitlyn. If you have not already signed into YouTube, you want to do that and come to That's So Trending over on the other side. All right, let's do this. We are starting with Devin and Caitlyn. So Devin and Caitlyn are having a conversation, and Devin tells her, I don't feel like we've been very romantic. And I agree. At no point have I seen Caitlyn make an attempt to be romantic with Devin. Like, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but have y'all seen Caitlyn make an attempt to be romantic with Devin? And be careful that you're not saying he made an attempt, right? Because I've seen him make attempts. But have you guys seen her make attempts? She need to go off into the sunset with Courtney. 1000% agree, y'all. The thing with Courtney is that she kind of tainted the well, and she justified Caitlyn's irrational beliefs that this man should just sit around and get away from her, right? He did not come here for best friends at first sight. He came here for a marriage at first sight. And so why should he get away from his wife? I know Caitlyn probably wanted to get closer to his wife. I'm sorry, Courtney probably wanted to get closer to his wife, but it does not mean that she needs to leave Devin. I think she left Devin behind week one. Devin, week one, was trying to show up as a good husband to her on that honeymoon. He was really trying, and she gave him nothing. The few things that she did give him, she took away the moment he complained, and that's her MO. If y'all notice, Caitlyn is very punitive towards Devin. If he says anything she doesn't like, she withdraws affection very quickly, and she corrects him disgustingly. She did it at the table where he said something like, oh, if you don't meet your partner's needs, then they might step out on you. And instead of her just interpreting that as what it is, like it can lead to issues in your relationship, she jumped to, you want to cheat. He did not say that. And she was like, that's a wild thing to say. You could have just said sorry and left it at that. There's no justification. She did it again when the questions game was being played, and he just apologizes and moves on. You don't have to take that. You don't have to take that. And so I hope Devin understands that. Now, we do see that Devin says we have not been physical at all. We are the only couple that hasn't explored that part, and that's true. I don't think that they need to compare themselves to other couples, though. This is another thing. I want to empower Devin to live in his truth. Devin is allowed to say, I want to be physically connected to my partner, and period. Don't explain nothing else to her. Don't justify nothing else to her. Don't compare it to no other couples. And just say what it is. I want to be physical with you. So what does that look like for us? So I can believe it, Sandra. This is the thing. A lot of couples removed affection. This is interesting, though. I think it's been interesting this whole season. I've told y'all the women here feel as though the men need to be the Cordells. They just need to accept whatever breadcrumbs I give them and shut up and make it enough. You saw it with Caitlyn when Courtney when she was with Nick. Shut up and take what I give you and be grateful. You saw it with Nikki, how she treated Shawn. Be grateful for whatever I give you. You saw it with Caitlyn and Devin. I believe that a lot of them feel that you as a man are just supposed to make it enough. Like, regardless of what your needs are, regardless of how you feel emotionally, like, your job as a man is to make it enough. And I'm here to tell you, you are going to fail in every single relationship. You have Caitlyn and Courtney if you feel that way. And also Nikki, I'm going to add her to the list as well. Nikki is softening. Don't get me wrong. Nikki definitely softens. But she also, we'll get to episode 18. But did y'all notice that fight at the end was her? And now I see what Shawn was talking about. Because at first I was like, no, he's definitely the problem. Did y'all see that fight at the end of episode 18? Anybody, or is it just me? Because when she said she went on a rambling trip, I lost it too. I didn't think anything of it when he stopped her in the middle and said, hey, you don't have to give a speech. And then he laughed and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And I'm taking my notes. I didn't think twice about it. And then she said, oh, I won't say anything else. And that's when I was like, oh, she's serious. She's not playing. And that is what I feel like happens. How he says things, she hears differently, but she just wants him to make it enough. If I want to ramble for an hour, your job is to shut up and listen. That's not a relationship, babe. You want a doll baby. I think you want a puppy, okay? Even the puppy is going to tell you to shut up. If you get an expressive dog, that dog is not going to listen to you, my love. If you get a dog with personality, they're not going to listen to you. She doesn't like his communication. She doesn't. And that's what's interesting is because when I hear that, my parents be like, can you shut up sometimes when I get the rambling? I love my parents. Like, I can't imagine starting an argument with somebody that I am in close proximity with. Now, my boss couldn't say that to me, but actually my friends, they could. And I wouldn't think twice about it because I would say it to them. All right, we ain't got to give a sermon now. Let's move on. Yeah, very playful way. And she is very serious. And there is no reason to be that way in your relationship. And so when somebody communicates with you, I think that this is where they lose me, because she wants him to just shut up and take it her way. Whatever she says, go with it. Same thing with Devin and Caitlyn. And he's like, nope, you're not going to talk at me. Okay, I have a right to speak. And he does. And so does Shawn. And so does Nick. He had a right to speak. And so do all of these men. They're not your doll babies. They're not your puppies. And when it comes down to it, if they want to say something, you don't like it, you still need to regulate yourself and figure out how to work around it, because that's part of a relationship. Then Caitlyn says, attraction comes from feeling seen and understood. The urge comes later. Girl, ain't no urge for you. Ain't no urge for Caitlyn. She just needs to admit she wants to be asexual with Devin nearby to do all the stuff for her. I feel like she wants the help. I really feel like she just needs to buy a cook and a cleaner. What is she doing? Like, girl, you don't have to do this. If it's just the food because Devin like to cook for you, then what are you here for? Like, you could just get weekly meals from Factor or something. You don't have to do this. Like, Caitlyn, Caitlyn don't want Devin. There's no urge because he has been so patient. And if it was just patience and understanding and kindness and empathy, she would have been in the bed with that man. She wants a partner switch. She does. She does. So I think she came on the show thinking that she was ready for a relationship like Courtney and like Nikki. But what they're proving to me is that Nikki, Shawn, Caitlyn, and Courtney are not ready for relationships. All of them have to turn it down a lot in order to be successful. I feel like for me, if Shawn and Nikki don't work out, this is another thing I'm gonna say in episode 16, especially we see it. If they don't work out, I honestly don't see them with nobody else. Because who else gonna communicate like business partners like they do? I really feel like part of the reason that I like them together is because they're so similar. And I don't see them being able to be with anyone else. Dark and lovely, welcome in, friend. How are ya? And so I feel as though Shawn, Nikki, Caitlyn, and Courtney don't need to date nobody. Nobody. Like, keep that mess to yourself until you see the lady. When you see the lady, then come try to date again. Now, Caitlyn also talks about the fact that there is desire here, and she tells us in her confessional that the couples retreat is the perfect place to explore that. Do y'all really see her going from nothing with him to doing something at the couples retreat? Because that was my question here. I was like, girl, you gonna get to that couples retreat and still act standoffish. I knew she wasn't gonna do nothing. I did not think that Caitlyn was going to do anything. Episode 16, you just go from nothing. Y'all ain't kissed since the honeymoon. And we supposed to go from we don't kiss to let's do something in a house full of people. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't see it. I don't think that's what's going to work out. And watching this, I was like, she's lying to herself, not to me, because I know the truth. I'm not worried about it. It's not gonna happen. And poor Devin, he just sitting there taking it, and that's what she wants. They're holding up a mirror for each other, and neither one of them likes what they see. Shawn and Nikki, period. Kiana, period. And I wonder too if the mom watches this back and has some forgiveness and understanding for Shawn, because I'm sure she was getting a lot from Nikki's perspective that leaves out a lot of his feelings. And it's honestly very true that you show up very differently depending on the person you're in front of. So I'm sure Nikki does not show up with Shawn the same way she shows up with her mother. So her mother probably didn't know how difficult she was. Same thing with Caitlyn and Courtney. Like, I think Courtney's mom knew how difficult she was because she had said, I know she's a hard person to deal with. Yeah, she is. Courtney's a handful. Let's talk about their next scene. Because where was their next scene? It was like the guys talking in episode 16, so it really wasn't them. But the guys are talking, and Devin's making excuses for Caitlyn's behavior. Did y'all hear that? Because I thought it was sad. Devin is literally sitting there saying to them, the only reason she doesn't talk to me, the only reason she doesn't say good morning or goodbye to me or hug me or kiss me is because of the camera. She gets camera shy. Is that the lie you're telling yourself, baby, to make yourself feel better? Because let's be real, that girl don't do what she don't do because she don't want to do it. That's the honest truth. And I'm so glad that Adam, who would have thought it would be Adam? I'm so glad that Adam is the voice of reason here. Adam said, nah, that ain't it. I cracked up. I cracked up at this table. Hey, Alex, welcome in, girl. I cracked up because Alex is literally telling him, your wife just don't like you. And he didn't say it in those words, but I thought it was funny. Bae, yeah. And I think he thinks his kindness, again, is like extra credit. I think Devin thinks if I show up kindly with her, she will give me some grace and maybe progress forward. She's never going to progress. It's just not going to happen. Caitlyn don't see it for y'all. And she's letting you know every chance she gets that she does not see it for you. Thank you for sharing out the live. So the thing is, we already knew what Adam said. I believe Devin. I have never been one of those defenders of Caitlyn or Courtney or Nikki or any of these women. I know they all have their quirks, and I believe Devin from the beginning. You cannot tell me that it is normal for you to not talk to your partner, to not hug him or kiss him, or want to after 6 weeks of living in a house together. That's weird. Even if you don't like the person. Shawn is even walking around naked, thing swinging under that robe eh, because she's in proximity with him. That is what is going to happen when there's a male near you. Like, that is just what it is. Like, it's just proximity, time, space, feelings should grow. um I do feel as though Caitlyn lies to herself, and you're going to continue to see it happening. Episode 16 is just the door cracking open at this point on their relationship, because it sounds even worse. Like, this just sounds terrible for both of them. She doesn't want to be here, and he wants to be with her, so he keeps chasing after her, doing more and more to gain her affection, and nothing's changing. Adam said she was on her phone the whole time. You kept inviting her over, trying to include her, and she just like withdraws and ignores you. And there were no cameras, so don't make that excuse. And he said it hurt his feelings, because it would hurt mine too. If I watched my friend get shut down over and over again, hey, welcome in, I would feel some type of way too. I really, really would, because that sounds terrible. Devin then says she's particular about everything, and he ain't never lied. That girl can't. Nothing you do is good enough. Nothing you say is good enough. The way that she cuts him off to tell him, I don't like what you just said. Like, good Lord, can he say anything? Can he do anything right? Yeah, he will definitely have a relationship, but he wanted a wife. And I think that that's the difference too, because sometimes we think the relationship after the show is the consolation prize, but the prize is really coming here and actually having a wife that tries with you. Even if y'all fail, because marriages end in divorce, that's okay. Even if y'all fail, y'all both tried. Like, she didn't even try. I'm so sorry. She did not try. You cannot tell me that this is what trial looks like. She did not try. She did not change. She did not evolve or grow. She didn't do anything. She just was there and hoped that Devin would continue to do all the work. That's not okay. He deserves a partner who's 100% in. Hey, Garrett, welcome in. Alex has strong opinions. I love that. I think that Caitlyn is just, she's off standoffish. She's extremely selfish. But I say that about half the women on the show. You Relationships require sacrifice, and anybody who tells you anything different, that a man is just supposed to morph to your needs, is lying to you. Okay? Nikki, selfish. Caitlyn, selfish. Courtney, selfish. All of those women are very selfish. Oh, you just finished episode 16? And I wouldn't doubt a better match with Marion will come his way. Yeah, I'm sure eventually he will find a spouse, but well, he did. That's the sad part, Sandra. Devin did sit around and cater to her. Nikki and Shawn are twins. The tit for tat is insane. Crazy. It is. They are twins and they're perfect for each other. I don't know why they're thinking that they're not. That's what makes me feel like Nikki isn't very self-aware. As much as she has the intelligence, as much as they're both extremely wise, neither one of them is very self-aware. And if Nikki is real with herself, she would see herself more so in Shawn than she actually does. She thinks that she is superior to him. Physically, yes. But emotionally, both of y'all got issues. And I would hate to be in a relationship with either one of y'all. Nikki, take the stick out of your butt and calm down. Like, have some fun. You are not an HR manager at the house. Relax. Relax, my girl. And also for him, like, what You are not her professor. Both of y'all need to relax. And that's the problem. Y'all don't know how. Um, the men are the issue for the most part. No, I think they're all the issue. I really do. I think it's a balance. Now, the only relationship where it's not a balance is Belle, Mecca, Michelle and Cameron, and one more, Tori and Felipe. The women are not balanced with the men. The women are not balanced with the men. But everybody else, y'all are just as dumb as each other. Marissa and Adam, dumb together. They deserve each other. Yes, they are uptight, Bree. Very uptight. And it's annoying. It's very annoying to watch them not see themselves in each other. So I feel like the women are just as much as a problem on this show as the men. This particular season, balanced. Very balanced. And then we hear Cameron say, well, in this conversation, Mecca admits that he said something dumb to Belle, which he did. At the dinner, he tells her, you were attractive. I mean, you were pretty, but were you attractive enough for me? Now, Mecca, where do you think that was going to go, my friend? Where did you think that was going to go? I don't think Mecca has a filter. And his biggest downfall will be the lack of emotional intelligence to be able to handle Belle with grace. There's a way to say anything you want to say. You just have to do it with some empathy. And he lacks that. And I'm sure it comes from the fact that he was raised by logic. If your daddy was logic, like I've been telling y'all, y'all would have the same exact issues or worse. That man is terrible. Terrible. And if that was your sole parent, imagine where you would be. And then in this conversation, because we're just going through the couples by couples, it was Cameron that ended up being the voice of reason. And Cameron was like, why would you say that? Exactly, Cameron. Why would he say that? Because he knows he can get away with it with Belle. Belle don't be ready enough to fight for me. I don't know. Belle don't be doing enough for me. I smiled when Belle said another episode. It's amazing that he's not a worse person. Exactly. Agreed. It's amazing that he turned out as well as he did with his daddy being his daddy. I don't even know how he functions with that type of upbringing. And this is the thing. I also like to use these lives to debunk some myths. So a lot of people thought like for sure that Shawn and Nikki weren't equally yoked. I hope that this puts this to rest when it comes to finances. So they talked about their finances and they were both on the same page. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you, girl. Thank you for the donuts. Both of them make over $200,000 a year. I told y'all I ran his entire resume through ChatGPT. They told me he probably makes, their best guess is around $218,000, but that also is based on the fact that his president's role is also open at his college, and that role is now open. You can go look at it yourself. The pay salary range is 280 to 320. If you look at the dean, so like he's at that VP level. So VPs sit on the board. It's like, yes, you have a CEO, which is your president of the university. He's the face. He's the person that has to take all the blame for the stuff and the hits. But it's your COO and CFO, that level that makes up the board that actually does the work. And Shawn sits on that board level, and the deans of certain departments come to him, right? So with that, he probably makes about 30% less than the actual presidential role. The best guess when I ran his resume to say what other, compare him to other people in his role at other colleges, their guess was 218K. His position is not open, so you can't outright check it right now, but you can check the presidential salary range. So for people that like to argue, please do your research. I want you to fact check. I want you to make sure that you're putting out accurate information before you go in comment sections and say things like that. And I think the problem is that a lot of y'all assume that Cameron made that much. And I want to be honest with y'all. The only reason you think that is because he looks like he looks. If he was not a tall, white, handsome man, you would not have assumed that he just made 200K and that he met all of Michelle's requirements. When we found out, he don't even make 150, as Michelle actually requested. So for me, I want y'all to sit for a little bit with your thoughts before you just throw them out there online. Because a lot of y'all, I don't think you're really doing any checking of anything that you're doing or saying. And both of them are aligned. He said he was going to give her his card in the last episode, handle all the bills, she could whatever for their lifestyle, and make sure that they have investment properties. And also to follow that up, exactly, bae. Also to follow that up, what else did they talk about in that? Oh, in this one, he was the one talking about her settling because she had a salary requirement. Again, if Shawn didn't meet her salary requirement, that would have been brought up at that time. Think about what you're saying. If Nikki was upset about his salary income, she would have said something at that time because you don't also meet her salary requirement. Again, y'all don't be putting the puzzle pieces together. And so that's really sad. I don't know. I think it's just because he's a black male that people assume that he doesn't make that much. It was just weird. Like, he's worked his whole life to become this high-ranking professional in Seattle at that. So, yes, that was it in episode 16 for, yeah, I can tell too, that laugh alone, they laugh rich. I'm like, y'all, what? I don't laugh rich enough for that. Like, I don't laugh like that. Like, I know that Shawn and Nikki are well paid and they are very good at what they do, each one of them in their own right. And so for people that come online and spew this hate at both of them, it will never make sense to me. Exactly, babe. She not playing that. She not lowering her lifestyle. The problem is people saw his house and assumed that he doesn't make that much. And some people just don't live above their means. And if y'all look at housing prices, my friend lives in Portland. She's looking for a house right now. Everything is over $1 million. If y'all look at housing prices, a lot of people don't desire to just go and import rugs from India. They don't desire to buy a $1.2 million home for just themselves. It's okay. It's okay that he lives in his apartment. It's okay that he chooses not to spend his money there. But what if he spends it on fine tailored suits so he can make presentations at his faculty meetings? And he chooses to buy $3,000 shoes to make sure that when he goes out of the country to represent his college, like, that's important to him. You guys, like, people choose different things. He does, like, exactly, Alex. Like, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with Gucci shoes. I love that. Chanel shoes, and I saw those Chanel sandals where there's no bottom. Y'all seen the ones that are heel only with the ballet slipper type straps? They're $1,500 to $3,000 for those sandals with no bottoms. Guys, if you are in the live, make sure you're liking for me. I need y'all to like the live. That helps it get pushed out. I appreciate everybody for joining us in this conversation. But just to put that into perspective, some people would rather have a fully loaded closet, fully loaded shoe closet, and a separate one for their purses than to have a 3-story house like Nikki has. And that's their priorities. Nobody's mad. Heavy on tech and home comfort items, dresses and sweats. Exactly, bae. Listen, I'm with him. I am someone who spends a lot of my money on my house, but that's because I spend a lot of my time at my house, right? So I would rather my income go towards the house that I actually like and can grow into than to spend money on clothes. And that's okay. That's totally fine. I don't see a problem. But I think at the core of it, I just want to call out our biases, right? I've been telling y'all that. Y'all are biased against Shawn because he's short, black, and bald and not conventionally attractive to some people. And that's the bias. It started there when y'all saw him and you said she deserves better as a black woman. And because of that, nothing he does will ever be seen as better. He also wasn't impressed by her house. So I know he's been in nice places. Um, and that's the thing too. A lot of people forget that moving in the circles that they move into, both of them would be considered underperforming. Because while I love the intentionality of Nikki's space and I thought it was a beautiful home, it's not big enough for me. I would not be able to grow into that space. I even looked at her bedroom size and I said, that's a queen bed. Baby, I sleep by myself and I have a king. Now you got old big bodied Shawn, where he gonna go? He can't sleep in that queen bed with you, Nikki. Your room ain't big enough to have a king size or a California king because you wouldn't have the walk space in there. Like, everybody's vision of what their home is going to look like is so different based on where you live and where your friends live. I'm just saying, Bree, like, you got a big body man, you need a big body bed. You can't have that little bed. Y'all gonna be smushed up together. I want to relax, you be on your side, give me an arm, and you, like, I don't want to be smushed. Sleeping good, baby. I mean, just all over the place if I want to be. You ain't no diva. Correct. He is the Beyonce in that relationship. And it was a very small one, but that is what Seattle does, right? If you don't want to pay a two-person salary for your house, that's what you get. $1.2 million instead of that $2 million home in Seattle. That makes sense to me. So I definitely feel like, you guys, I just really want us to be accountable for the things that we say online. Okay. Kiana, she don't know nothing. She don't know ball. Cause listen, the way that I cannot imagine going back to sleeping in a queen bed is crazy. Um, Now, do me a favor, guys. I'm going to turn off my TikTok live, okay? If you guys have not already, join me over here on YouTube. I'm going to still continue streaming because we've only talked about one couple. I still got to get through all the rest. Thank you for everybody who did join me over here. I'm going to give y'all a couple minutes so y'all can get into the YouTube account. My name is at That's So Trending. The same is here. My link is in my bio. And we're going to continue talking about these couples over there. I think the next one we said we wanted to do Belle and Mecca. So I'm going to start talking about their situation next. And that's probably going to be the majority of our chat because we've already talked about... the first one was Devin and Caitlin from episode 16. So we definitely have to start off with Belle and Mecca next. And figure out what's going on with them, okay? So link is in my bio. Click on the video. We're live over here. I'm just gonna hop right into the next couple. I'm giving y'all a couple minutes so I don't cut y'all off without y'all being on that live. But I'll see y'all over there. See, guys. Thank you for joining me here on TikTok, though. All right, so for everybody on the YouTube side of things, we on YouTube, Raven. Let's go. Let's party so I can fully focus my attention on y'all. I love double streaming. I love that that's something we can do in this day and age. But but it really isn't like the most fun to have to look back and forth and make sure I keep up with the comments from both. Hey, Lake D, welcome in. I'm just giving people a chance. So if everybody is switching over here, because I told y'all at the beginning of the live, come over to YouTube because I'm going to end this one early. So I was hoping that more people would do it at the beginning so that way we wouldn't have to wait. Hey, Vina, welcome in, girl. So more people can come over, but people take their time. They take their time coming over here. So we said Belle and Mecca. Y'all know I love Belle. I think Belle is gorgeous. So anything I say is coming from the lips of Mecca. These are not my opinions, and I don't talk like this. So Mecca says to Belle, at that table with all the audacity in the world, I understand how you feel, Nikki, because when I first saw her, I wasn't attracted to her either. I had to grow in my attraction. She was confused, I was confused, and we was confused because this was the same man that had to ask for reassurance from everybody at the wedding that she was gonna like him. How you now telling me that you don't think she's attractive? You're lying. I'm so sorry. Y'all want me to believe so bad that Mecca really is not attracted to this beautiful woman, and I refuse to believe it. I do not believe that Mecca can look at Belle and say she's unattractive. Belle is fine. But I don't care. I don't care who you are, where you from. Anybody that looks like Belle is gonna be a beautiful woman. And when he said that, I shook it off because I was like, oh, he lying. He's self-sabotaging because that's what Mecca does. Do I think he was trying to humble her by saying that? I think it's twofold. I think Belle is beautiful and out of his league. His self-esteem is hit. So yes, he does have some insecurities and he wants to let it be known that you're not going to make me feel insecure because I don't even think you that bad. Like, I do think that that's subconsciously there, but I think underneath of that subconscious, so subconscious, is that I know I'm going to mess this up anyway, so I might as well start here. Does that make sense? Like, I know I'm going to sabotage this whole thing, so let me just get ahead of the game. And I might not realize I'm doing it every time I put her down, but the greater goal is to get up out of this because she don't really like me. She not gonna stay. My mama didn't stay. My siblings didn't stay. My stepmama didn't stay. So why would she stay? And I honestly think that that's Mecca's whole problem is he can't let go of that hurt. And I'm not blaming him, but like I am saying that that's something he needs to work out. And if I were Mecca or Belle, I would live in separate homes until he worked on it. He would have to show me progress before I moved into a home with him and started my life. We would still date, but I wouldn't be fast to move in with him. Belle bad, Raven, real bad. He's putting on for the rest of the couples. So my problem is I actually don't think he's performative. And I know Paul said this, so he dropped that little nugget and that word keeps getting thrown around. Can you imagine being an SA survivor? And every time you're around men, you withdraw and recoil, and everybody's like, oh, you're being performative. That is how it feels for me when I hear Paul say that. Can you imagine your mom, your stepmother, and your siblings leaving you with logic? And then years later, you go into a relationship, self-sabotage, and people be like, nah, you're performative. Y'all don't know my story. You don't know what I had to deal with this little nasty daddy I got, and his foolishness and the way he treated him. I think this is a trauma response. I really, really do. I don't think it's a performance. I think that he just didn't get the good parent like experience, and that sucks. He just didn't have a good experience in his childhood. And I don't think he cares about the rest of the couples. Because let's be real, if he cared, he would not be making the impression he's making. Because he said it really hurt his feelings when Michelle said that he was performative. And he also said it hurt his feelings when Paul said it. So I don't think that that's true. He thought he was going to get cool points for saying that she's not his dream girl. You know what, Kiana? I think that in it, like, let's go to that conversation because when she asked that, I think he thought all the rest of the men felt the same way he did. Honestly, I think he thought that Cameron was gonna say that Michelle is not his dream girl, and he was shocked. This man was literally shocked and gobsmacked when he did not agree that Michelle was his dream person, because Michelle is gorgeous too. All of these women are beautiful in their own right, right? The only average looking person, and this is not to put her down in any way, because by all accounts, she's not even that average, right? But it's Marissa. Like, she might be the only one where people could say, oh, she's average. You know, I would pass her. But all these other women, I would stop and say hello because they're that bad. But I just really feel like he thought Cameron was going to agree with him. Kiana, he's scared of her for how loyal she is. I really do think this is him feeling like, what do I do? I know I'm not good enough for this and I'm gonna ruin it any day now. Let's do it. I think he does not resent her. He just doesn't know what to do with this. Because if you've never been loved, God forbid you've never been loved right. So people just come into your life, show you a good time, and then they dip on you, you act like Mecca. She won't let him be a victim if he's um she needs to start checking him. His hurt reactions don't come before her self-esteem. Absolutely, Raven. But what does she do with it though? Because this is another thing. I don't know. So when you're dealing with somebody who has traumas, right? Or let's say you're dealing with somebody who has phobias, what do? It would be the same thing. If he's scared of love, right? So am I supposed to push it on him for him to continue to reject me? Do I yell at him through it to make him feel more like logic would make him feel, further traumatizing and proving his own like reality? Or does she just say, I'm going to do the best I can and you continue to work on you and take that approach? Because yelling at him, I don't know would fix anything. Um, Now let's go into this. When they get home, Belle is not feeling Mecca, right? So she's not talking to him. And Mecca says, you seem down in the dumps. My husband just told me he ain't attracted to me. What you mean? Like, but she don't say nothing. She's ignoring him at this point, right? And she's just like, give me a break. Cause he's wanting to talk about it. No, give me a break. Just give me a minute. Cause what I'm supposed to say? You not attracted to me and you just told all of our friends. So how I'm supposed to feel? Belle says in her confessional, no man would say that to a woman he cares about, and I don't have to put up with this. No, you don't, baby. But what you gonna do? Because the problem becomes, right? She knows where this is coming from, and she'll talk about this later, but she knows where this is coming from. And acknowledging that also means that there is a part of him that can heal from what he's learned. It's if she wants to put up with it. And in the meantime, that means she's carrying a little bit of his weight in this relationship. And does she want to do that? And she don't have to. She do not have to be sacrificed for Mecca. I think, and if he keeps doing it, I'd create distance. She keeps coming back and acting normal. Raven, I think that it can be twofold. The distance is what he wants. And so therefore this is why this is complicated, right? Because he wants distance. He wants her to leave because it proves his point. If I tell myself over and over, like Courtney, the Courtney effect, if I tell myself over and over, you keep leaving because like I'm just unlovable, then let me make myself as unlovable as possible. Courtney is unlovable, okay? And she needs to see the lady. We've talked about this. I think that this is the same effect that Mecca is having. We're just seeing it show up different. He's just putting her down, and y'all have zero tolerance for it, just like we had zero tolerance for Courtney putting down Nick. But Nick wasn't saying anything. Nick was just going with it. What is going on, Nick? What is happening here? So for me, I feel like they should still date. When I hear creating distance, I thought you meant like what she did where she wasn't talking to him for a while, or like, create an emotional difference. It is a heavy weight to carry, Kiana, and it's hard to carry gracefully. Do I know women who have done this though? Yes. I do know women who have partners who have not had mothers in their lives or fathers sometimes, and they basically raise themselves. And because of that, I think that they carry the weight of that missing parental figure and the trauma that it caused them. And they've been married for years, years and years, decades and decades. So it does happen. It really, really does. And people do learn to work around their partner's deficits all the time. Because if they not good at dealing with the kids, then guess who steps in? The mom. And it's not fair. Like, it's not fair. But it's usually one person has to make up for the deficit. Oh, individual and couple would need it every day, all day. Let's get into the scene in the hot tub because this really upset me, and I thought he was gonna dig his heels into this idea that he never said this to her. When they got in that hot tub, were y'all as upset as me? Because what do you mean you did not say that I wasn't attractive enough for you? I sat there at the table. Remember, I was the one that wore egg on my face. I sat there at the table when you said that to me. I remember you saying for me. And I remember it too, but then they played the clip back and it said what she said it said. Mecca, we don't forget. We don't forget that easily. You said what you said. She's not attractive enough for you. She was pretty, but she wasn't pretty enough for you. Because it stings, Breezy. She knows what he said because it hurt. It does. It's like your spouse is just digging the knife in like a little bit further. Vina, men do this. It's selective amnesia. It got to be. It got to be genetic too, because they just come up with that. Even when they like 6 or 7, you notice little boys, they start this bad behavior of not remembering what you told them earlier not to do, or not, I don't remember when it's time to accept responsibility for something. It's got to be genetic. That Y carries the selective amnesia gene. Because what do you mean you don't remember telling your wife you don't find her that pretty? You had to grow in attractiveness. Um, and so Raven, for me, it did hit different. I didn't find you attractive versus you're not attractive enough for me, meaning I've had more attractive partners than you. When? When have you had more attractive partners than Belle? They do, Raven. Listen, I grew up with a brother and a sister, right? We have very similar actions, even though we were raised by the same mom and dad, right? Like my sister and I were very similar in our approach to communication. My brother just off the walls as a kid. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than it's that why. But when I look at Belle, you can't tell me you've had better. I'm sorry. I'm not falling for that. You're again not telling the truth. And I don't know who you think you're talking to, but we all know she is the preference. She is bad. She always gonna be the preference. Then he does admit, he was like, now I do kind of recall that. Yeah, because you backed into a corner. So I'm glad that he came to his senses and decided to say something, and admit he was wrong. Because an apology goes a really long way, but if you don't tell the truth, now there's no trust. Now I don't feel like I can speak up for myself because you're going to make me think that I'm crazy and that I'm not telling the truth. I know what I heard. I used to work in childcare, and yes, it starts very young. The girls are always more considerate, even at 2 to 3 years old. Exactly, Kiana. It's that why. It's that why. It's messing up the people. I do feel like him taking responsibility helps me believe that he can get better. If he would have lied and denied saying it at all, I don't know. Not to say that he could never get better, but I feel like I have more confidence that with a good therapist over years, Mecca could get better. And I know people are going to disagree, but I do think that there's hope for Mecca. It's not going to be now. It's not going to be in 2027, but he could get better. Exactly, Raven. How do y'all feel about arranged marriages? Would y'all do an arranged marriage? Just for anybody in here, I'm just curious because I think I would, right? But because I know myself, I don't care about appearance. I do care about your job. I care that you're stable. I care that, you're going to take good care of me. I care about consideration. Like, how sweet are you? Like, do you actually try with your partner? And would you be there for me? But like, I don't care about appearances. And it would take a lot of work. And I think that's the only way it works. Because if you care about personal appearance or physical appearance, you're like, how does somebody else get that right? Because on paper, you could say even 6 foot. A 6 foot gremlin ain't gonna help. Like, and who's to say that what's a gremlin to you ain't attracted to somebody else? Because there are chubby chasers out here. You got the tall and the lean and the skinny, sickly looking. Like, everybody has a preference. Everybody. Yeah, that guilt comes from childhood, and it will take a lot more positive self talk than negative self talk to get out of that. Um, then he says that, well, she tells us that this is not the first time she's had to digest some comments where he was basically talking outside of his neck. And he has done this a lot, but I don't think it's talking out of the side of his neck. I think that this is his subconscious saying, what can I say to make her mad? What can I say to poke the bear and push her out of my life? What can I do to get away from this love that she's not going to continue to show me because she's going to leave me soon? That's honestly how I feel. I don't think he's talking out of the side of his neck. I think he's talking from a place of hurt, neglect, and failure from parental figures. Mecca says, I know I'm better than that, but it's unfortunate that I've been showing up like that. And you can't marry somebody's potential. I don't know what Mecca thought this was, but you thought you could be better than this, or you knew you were better. Because if you knew you could be better, you would do better. I don't think you can do better right now. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I know some people don't like that, but you got to be honest with yourself. Where I am right now, I can't show up any better. Because if I could, I would. And I think too, it's a degree of vulnerability in that, to say that this is me doing my best. And I suck. Like, I suck. Caitlyn, I think she needs to take some lessons. This is me doing my best in a relationship, and I suck. What if she came to Devin with that type of radical honesty? Because I think that this is the time for radical honesty. Hey, I'm doing my best, and I suck at relationships. What do we do? Let me go to the therapist. Let me send a message to Paul right quick and tell him I'm screwing everything up and I'm not a good partner. Mecca did. He said he thought that he could hide some of this stuff and that it wouldn't come out. It came out. And it's vicious to watch. It's not doing you any favors. I really wish he would have started like with the truth, that he sucks at being a partner and he's still learning, and set her expectations low. Because the way he showed up initially was okay, and then that one comment, and it just feels like it's been going downhill since then, where he said you're 150 and I'm at 80% attraction. Raven, exactly. Devin would have done anything to make this marriage work with Caitlyn, and that's the sad part. You just can't disrespect him. Fair. That's a fair ask. If you got a partner that's willing to cook, clean, take care of all your needs, and not ask for much in return, I'm going to make that thing work. And I'm going to be honest with him about the fact that I probably suck at being a wife. Caitlyn, own that. I suck. This is my first time being a wife. I suck at this. Like, give me a second. And she wasn't even willing to try. Ugh, she bothers me. The producers asked Mecca, do you think you're self-sabotaging? Mecca says maybe. No, you definitely are. Like, again, still not owning it. Say the things out loud. And then he says that he does or says something eventually that makes them leave. So you're right. And I don't blame her if she does leave. Breezy, it's so weird. Yeah, like, he won't own it. Just sit in the discomfort of saying that I self-sabotage every chance I get, everywhere I go. And I wonder if that's why he's had to Because I don't believe that this is only showing up in his relationships. I wonder if that's why he had to go into the family business, is because he probably struggled with regular jobs, self-sabotaging. Whenever somebody saw potential in him, he probably let them down. I wonder if he's had spaces where he just struggles with this everywhere. Belle says, I don't know if I can be sure that it won't happen again. I have to look out for Belle at this point, period. You should have been looking out for Belle, because Mecca is looking out for Mecca. So Belle, look out for Belle. I don't see what the issue is. If Mecca isn't showing up the way you want him to, you do not owe it to Mecca to stay in a space where you don't feel appreciated and valued for all you bring to the table, because she's being a really great wife. She's being a very attentive wife. She's being very accommodating as a wife. And she deserves somebody that does the exact same thing for her. You don't have to stay here. Now, in the confessional, did y'all hear her little blurb where she said before the trip, she said, I don't know what Mecca I'm gonna get. Can y'all imagine being married to somebody so unstable? You like, what Mecca is gonna show up today? Because some days we cool, other days not so much. And I would so bet money on the fact that she was scared he was gonna continue to embarrass her this weekend. I think she was scared that this man was gonna show up there and make another revelation. Breezy said, I cannot. I do not. Anyway, sorry. Only the Love is Blind folks are gonna get that. Yeah, she is probably on edge at all times because she doesn't know how he's gonna embarrass her day to day. What if in this, like, what if he started making even worse comments about her body? Like, what if he said something crazy? Like, y'all just don't know like how that has to feel for a spouse to not be able to trust their partner in spaces, like open spaces with other people. There's a lot to say. I think she doesn't hold back because of that, all things Alex. I think she holds back because she actually is trying. I hate this for women, but we work really hard in relationships, in relationships where they don't even deserve us. And sometimes we hold back because we don't want to lose it. We feel like this has to work out. Like this marriage must be saved. My boyfriend must become my fiance, or my fiance must become my husband. Call it off. Call it off. Call all of it off. Send, cancel the cake, cancel the flowers. I don't care. If it's okay to not have a relationship work out, and I don't necessarily consider it a failure. Sometimes it's the best thing you can do for yourself, but we will give our all. And God forbid you've been in a relationship for a few years. Women will literally let you cheat on them openly if it's been a couple years because they don't want to have time wasted. Ma'am, I will waste and skedaddle all my time away before I let a man treat me like that and just take it to the face. Mecca is so arrogant. I think he thinks he's a 10. Like, sir, have a seat. You know who's a 10? Big Daddy Shawn. Period. Shawn's a 10, baby. And old dried up nigga, she's a 7. She's a 7 at best. A New York 7. Maybe a Seattle 10, but she about a 7. It is the sunk cost fallacy, Raven. And so, yeah, we gonna get into that conversation because that comes up a little bit later. But yeah, these men are hilarious to me. And welcome in, everybody. If you guys are in here, make sure that you guys like the live. Definitely should be at 14 likes, but make sure you guys like the live as well. That helps to get us pushed out. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like these men are just gross with their words. And I don't know. It's like word vomit. Like, shut up. Put it back in. Nobody's trying to hear what y'all got to say, to be honest with you. Like, now the girls are in the group girls room. So they're in Nikki's room because she has the biggest room. And they're all having a chit chat on the couples trip. Belle says he might say things the wrong way. At dinner, he said he wasn't physically attracted to me initially. And then You were pretty, but are you pretty enough for me? No. And she has memorized that phrase. You can tell it just rolls off her tongue. And that's so sad. I hope she does not internalize any of his mess trying to make sense of all of this. Mecca is just a mess inside. And Belle says I still like Mecca outside of this, but if I say yes, am I going to have to worry about something like that again? And the answer is yes. I'm so sorry to tell you, girl, if you say yes to Mecca, you are going to have to worry about him all the time saying something absolutely ridiculous because it is ingrained to who he is. He's a self-sabotager. Hello, welcome, welcome into Mecca's mind. Whatever he can do to undermine your relationship and make himself like the victim of being left, he's gonna do it. Ain't no bar low enough. He gonna find a way under it when it comes to his relationships. Mecca is going to self-sabotage. And I'm sorry. Belle doesn't deserve that, but that's the situation. And the girls aren't being real with her about that. I don't know. They're just not having real girl chat here. And I don't know if it's because they don't know each other that well, but they should have said yeah. She makes way too many excuses for him. She does, Sandra. Okay, so this is another part about being a wife is you will have to make excuses for your husband. That is actually 100% of being in a wife role. And it's the simple things too. Sometimes it's not the big things. My bishop died. You know what his daughters did at his funeral? They made sure that they gifted their mom because they were like, we wanted to make sure that you were seen. And it's for all the years that you signed his name to our cards because we knew he was too busy to actually be there. And you knew that he didn't even know our birthdays like that, but you made sure that you had his name on all the presents. You made sure that every Christmas gift he was included. It's actually an excuse of behavior. And we don't even realize we're doing it. But a lot of women will do that to make sure that they are a part of the family or a part of the thing. And it's just really sad that men aren't taught to be thoughtful enough to be included themselves and do the right thing. And so she's just showing up early. She's doing her job as a wife. She's doing it day one. And I think that that's pretty much what makes people uncomfortable is because they expect it for a real husband, but when you just met him for they're 8 weeks ago, not so much. Raven, exactly. And that post is coming, baby. That post is coming. Now the guys are talking. Remember, I left off with what Mecca said about saying something dumb and what he said to Belle. Cameron says, "Is she your dream girl?" He says, "No." But asked Cameron if Michelle was his. He said, "Of course she is. Yes." Adam asks him, "Well, she's not thick, but could she just get a boob job?" I'm on my last leg. And I mean this. I'm on my last leg with Adam and Felipe. I can't. Okay? Between Adam and Felipe, I'm on my last leg. All my patience is thin. Okay? As thin as his mama edges, that's how thin my patience is. I cannot with men who feel that it is okay to ask your wife to change her body under anesthesia for you. Do you know how crazy you sound? To ask a woman to go under anesthesia to get cut open for you, not for health, for you. That is insanity to me. To me, that is insanity. He was Raven. He was doing really good, but every time, and then I can't ever really fully be on Adam's side because Adam will always do something dumb. Like, I was really happy he was going to let Marissa meet his sister until Marissa asked him about meeting his sister, so he decided to fall off the boat. Now I'm not on your side. We on a hot tub boat. And all of a sudden, instead of having a romantic afternoon with your wife, you want to challenge her to push-ups on the boat? This is why I can't be on his side. I like the date concept, but then you turned it into Iron Man. Why? Adam's not my cup of tea, and I'm not gonna act like he is. But here in this conversation, Cameron says, well, Adam asks, do you like white girls? Adam, why? And I wonder if Adam knows something we don't know. Because did he ask that question because of Caitlyn? And later on, that's going to become relevant. But I would just want that to sit there with y'all. Okay? I'm just going to let that sit there with y'all. Y'all do with the information what you will. Okay? Mecca says, I don't think she would be down for the fake boobs, though. At all. And Cameron's just shocked, appalled, don't know what to do. And Mecca says, and then Cameron was like, you all gonna get old and ugly. Mecca says, I'm young now. This is where I need Shawn to step in. And I kind of want Shawn to say something to the effect of, now this is not EQ, this is IQ. This young man lacks inadequate IQ. Mecca, baby, I'm worried. I'm worried about your intelligence level. I really am. Because this is not just an EQ problem. Right. And but he's a 10, so he can't relate to this conversation, Raven. Remember, Shawn is a 10. He can't relate to the conversations that we're having about people on their level at like a 7.5 or so. No, he can't relate to being old and ugly. He just can't. Yes, with wet socks on. Kiana. So yes, we are going to now go into, let's see. Oh, did we finish up everything? Yes, we did. We finished up everything with Mecca and Belle, okay? If you guys want to watch this recap because you're coming in late or maybe you missed something, know that you can watch the full thing. I'm going to post it up on YouTube tomorrow sometime because it takes about 24 hours for it to upload after you finish. So you'll be able to find it tomorrow for episode 16. He's in his prime. Matter of fact, let's talk about his prime. I can't. Y'all, let's put him up on the screen because you know he's so fine. Let me find a picture of Shawn fine self. Lord have mercy, that man fine. Let me find this handsome man. Whose screen is that? Oh, look at all that milk dug chocolate. Her face in that scene. Hold on, y'all. I gotta find a better picture of all that chocolate, honey. Hold on. Y'all give me 2 seconds because we're gonna get all of this fineness up. I don't want y'all to miss none of it. Oh yeah, he look good right there. That man fine, honey. Put that face up. Put that face right there. There it is, boo. There it is, all that fineness. Look at that little yellow. And that's what you want right there. That's health. That's wealth. We want this. You know, just all this. We gonna talk about it. Let's get into Shawn and Nikki, okay? Episode 16, there's not much of them in this episode, but you know, as always, Shawn is gonna add a little razzle dazzle or whatever's going on. Every time he calls Nikki girl in his confessional, like, girl, please, my eyes go rolling back. I absolutely love it because I think we would gossip really well together. Like, I think he would love this show. I really do. Nikki and Shawn start off with some gossiping. So they leave the couple's dinner, right? And Nikki says, you made some inflammatory statements tonight. And he said, I just wanted to get him to think a little bit deeper about how he feels about Marissa. And I agree with Shawn. He had every single right to ask Shawn those hard questions. I'm sorry. Shawn had every right to ask Adam those hard questions. And I'm so glad he did. I honestly think that Shawn made Adam feel inferior and his ego got hit. And you know, Adam doesn't do well with that. He does not like to be challenged. He does not like to be challenged. And when a black man comes and challenges you, who are you to challenge me? I think Adam got in his feelings and it mixed up EQ with IQ and intelligence level, couldn't reverse. And he came into the couples retreat with a vendetta. And child, it was never that serious. It was never that serious. Never. But Shawn does, oh wait, later on, Nikki and Shawn, right? Shawn's doing his own thing, I guess, and Nikki is on the camera. She's doing her video diaries for the show. And Nikki says that Shawn likes to take little jabs. Can I be honest with y'all? But I think they both take little jabs at each other. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. But I think that they both take jabs at each other. And it is a one-sided beef. Adam said, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. Adam, don't get put on your bottom now. That will come up for sure, Sandra. That will come up because I didn't miss that. I noticed that. But I think that they both do. Okay, if we're being honest, she's just less like quick with it. So like her comments, sometimes she thinks a little bit about them before she puts them out there, and he just blurts stuff out. I told y'all the men all got diarrhea of the mouth. And so he'll say something like, girl, you crazy. She'll get offended. And I think that's what happened at the airport. It probably was a girl, you crazy, or something like that. And you see how he talks. It's very posh, very like uppity, but at the same time, he's very casual. I can't tell either. I'm not really sure, but it happened off camera, so I can't put a timestamp on it. But she said like one of the things that he said was that she was a Seattle 10. She was a Seattle 10, a New York 7, where he's from. And I said the audacity, the gall, the ridiculousness. My notes literally I don't know, the unmitigated gall of men to think that they get to talk to women like that. Now, Shawn is the exception because Shawn is a 10. Clearly, this is a 10. Okay? All of this is a 10, baby. Don't forget Shawn in that robe. Shawn in that robe, baby, that was an 11. Okay? So for him, this makes sense. But I bet not hear none of the other men say it. I bet not hear none of the other men come for their wives like that. Right, Breezy. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That robe open, gorgeous, handsome, magazine ready. I was ready. I was ready for the cameras. You see, he was on. The man did that. And Nikki just don't know what she got in a man with Shawn. So Shawn and Nikki, they are in the kitchen together, right? And at this point, she says, I'm gonna cook for you. And I said, oh, she must really like this man, because Nikki is not, don't give, she cooks. She gives, we order out. You take me to nice restaurants. And she says as much. She's like, I don't cook. So the fact that she did this, I think it's really cute. And for people who don't cook, macaroni is a huge production. Because I looked at all that. I was like, my macaroni and cheese, I don't put no eggs in mine. And I certainly don't use no flour. Because if you're using block cheese and condensed milk, your stuff gonna come together anyways. So I don't understand. But you know what? I feel like Nikki just don't cook enough to know how to throw some macaroni and cheese in the oven and brown it right quick and go on about her life. So that's why this was a whole production for them. And Nikki had her mom on the phone. And so I do use a little bit of roux. Maybe that's what she was using it for, but in my head, I was like, she's pouring it directly into the actual one. And the only reason I use a roux now is because I like my cheese a little bit gooey. So like once it melts down, it can get into there. Now my grandmama, when she made it, she just used the shredded cheese and she would mix it really good in the milk and the and the noodles. And she would use the block cheese and layers between the layers of noodles. She didn't even do all the stuff that I do, but she just was at a different level with hers. It was all across the table. Girl, what's going on? But yes, Shawn and Nikki, her mama don't like you. And I just want to say that, Shawn, I know you a 10 and you good looking, but her mama don't like you. And on that phone call, I could tell her mama was putting on that mama voice that, when your mama go up to the school and she meet with that principal that's giving you a hard time, and she put that mama voice on. That's how she was talking to Shawn. All right, well, we'll talk soon. Yeah, we'll have to do that later. She don't like that man. She don't like him at all. And Shawn says that he's feeling good. I said, child, you not reading the room at all. The mac and cheese, they sit down and eat. He didn't say anything to her face, but in the confessional, this is the thing. The confessional is going to air, right? They're not getting this footage just to hold on to it. They're actually getting this footage because it's going to be on the TV. It's going to be on the television. And so I would not have said what you just said about her mac and cheese. I bet she won't cook no more for you. And he said it was okay, but okay is better than terrible. Maybe that's his philosophy in life, because that's how he acts. Like, I'm okay, but okay is better than terrible. I don't have to be a great person. I just got to be an okay person. And, that's better than terrible or no person. So maybe that's just how he is in his whole life. Okay is better than terrible. That's our new motto. Then he gonna be complaining she don't cook, cause I wouldn't cook another thing. You would live off of spinach noodles and a little bit of ranch dressing. That's what you would live off of in this house. You come for my food. You better get you a bowl of pork and beans if you want them, cause that's it. Don't ask me for nothing. And I just can't get behind it, cause that's crazy to me. Now let's see here. Who else? Oh, Shawn and Nikki driving over late. I feel like they don't take any days off for this show. Is it just me? But I feel like everything they come to, he comes late. Like, his job don't give him no days off. He be coming late to everything that they do as a couple. And on the drive over, no exception, it's getting dark. All the couples are already there. They're the last ones to get the room. So they get the room that's for the kids on this vacation house. And so she don't like the room. Of course she don't, Nikki, because you don't like nothing either. You another one. I told y'all, she's another Caitlyn Courtney herself. She don't like nothing. She is Caitlyn and Courtney, very, very particular. Very particular. And they just, to me, nothing that you can do is gonna please Caitlyn, Courtney, and Nikki. It's just don't. This is why I hope this works out for them. I really, really am rooting for them to figure it out, because I just need them to be off the streets. He said, I gotta go. My mama's birthday. I can't be worried with y'all. Not with the whites. Shawn is funny because I go to. I don't want to be here. Bunk beds, though, it's a house full of couples. So when I order Airbnbs, I do something similar. So usually you either have to go for an extra bedroom, which can be hard to find. So when I buy Airbnb, because if I'm doing it for like my brother and my grandfather, that's fine. The bunk beds don't bother them because we're only going to be here for a couple of nights. But if not, then I would have to do, instead of getting a 3-bedroom house, I would have to get a 4, because at least one room is going to be for kids. And then we would have to pay the extra upcharge just because you want a king size bed. Now, the reason that they did it might be location, and maybe they couldn't find a house that actually had an actual room in it, extra room. They do need to be off the streets, Sandra, because who trying to go out on dates with Shawn? Jesus, I don't want to be on a date with Shawn. Take him, girl. Y'all work great together. I think this is a beautiful couple. I like how he basically said, "Don't start no rumors. We're good. I'm just going to see my mama." Period. You got to clarify with these people because you know how they like to eat them up, and that's what's crazy to me is even though their fights have been very normal couple fights. I don't like the way you talk to me. You were disrespectful. You were rude. Those conversations happen a lot in real relationships. Other couples tend to look down their nose at Shawn and Nikki, and I don't know why. Felipe done told us that he want to go sleep with other women. That's fine. You know, we can all still be cool with Felipe. And Adam told Marissa she's out of my life if she don't keep up with pickleball 6 hours a day and jet ski over with me multiple times a day to do pickleball. And I don't care about her blood sugar being low because that's not my problem. We got to win. And then you got you got Courtney cussing Nick out every chance that she get. And then Caitlyn don't even want to be near Devin. She got pillows between them in the bed. And the only reason she's not in a different room is because this season I don't think they got 2 bedrooms in the house. And I just want to say that they're very casual about all of those couples, but these two having very normal arguments, in my opinion, are the issue. I don't know why they're coming for Shawn and Nikki either. I can't tell. Like they don't seem any worse off than the other couples, in my opinion. Like I actually feel like they're better than some of these couples, or a lot of the couples. Anyways, in the car together, Shawn reads Michelle and Cameron for filth. Don't even mean to, because he's just being himself, and I love it. Shawn says, I like Cam and Michelle together. First of all, he said that eye contact is fierce on that girl. Period. She do be making really deep and intense eye contact. But anyways, Shawn says, I love Cam and Michelle together. And then she said their conflict is going to be accepting what this guy has to offer and not what she wants. Baby, if that ain't the view of every marriage, women have to accept what they are offered oftentimes and not what they want. Not what they want. Because a lot of the times, if you go ask a woman right now, I wanted a man that supported me with the kids and the housework. How many of them get it? I wanted a partner who was going to make space for my dreams, let me come up out of my job so I can write this novel. How many women get it? How many women have those things that they said they wanted, their partner promised them that they would do, and now we're 20 years into a marriage and they ain't done it yet? And Shawn also said, she said she wants a stable guy with a certain amount of money. But she's such a lover girl, she is falling into that pattern again of accepting it. And she is, y'all. And she is. And if it's good enough for her, that's not to say that there's anything wrong with compromise or, you know, finding a partner who meets all your other boxes, even if it's not monetary. But I don't know, y'all. He ain't wrong. That's the one thing I can say right here. Shawn don't be wrong. He might be rude, but he don't be wrong. He might be rude, but he don't be wrong. Shawn be telling the truth. And I know y'all hate to hear it, but he be telling Michelle, Adam, all of them what they need to hear. He not wrong. And when I listen to him even talk to Nikki, a lot of times he don't be wrong. He just be rude. Or is it what some people might consider rude? I consider it direct. But if y'all consider Shawn rude, cool. But it be direct. He be trying to tell you what you need to hear, which is you might be falling into that pattern again, Michelle. Adam, everything can't be vibes. And at the lake house, what do we see Shawn and Nikki? Oh yeah. Shawn and Nikki are announcing that they're leaving, but they don't have any drama. Like, really, that was their only part of this episode, really, because he leaves at 2 a.m. So I don't know what I'm supposed to say about Shawn and Nikki on this trip because ain't no Shawn and Nikki. It's just Nikki. Breezy, you think that Cam enjoys his sense of freedom from Michelle, which I could totally see. I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se. I think when they're together, they have a really strong bond, and that's the most important thing. Now, if she started to feel like it's too much traveling, I'm fine with it. Like, if they have to restructure their life. And it sounds like Cam is also fine with it. I think Cam would restructure his life for her. I don't know though. We'll see. Because at the reunion, these couples switch up. They say yes on decision day, and then by the time we get to the reunion, ain't no more couples. Like last season was a hot mess. Hot mess. All these couples want to say yes, and then they were gone. Yeah, he does. Cam is smitten. Cam is smitten with her, and she is with him. And she is going to move for him though, because her job is remote. So she can do remote stuff he can't as a basketball coach. So it's just a little bit different. But yeah, I really, really do hope that they work out. I do. I wish the best for all of these couples. Let's see. Is there anybody else that I'm missing? Did I miss any of the couples, y'all? Oh, Felipe and Tori. Y'all, how did I forget about Felipe and Tori? I feel like y'all don't even care about Felipe and Tori. Y'all be like, and what they got to do with me? Because not once have y'all mentioned Felipe and Tori in these comments. That's hilarious to me. Guys, if you are in here, remember to go and like the live. When he held her hand while her car was breaking down, I about lost it. I've been lost it. I'm so tired of losing it. I don't even think I ever found it again to lose it again. Because why would you tell your wife you want to go sleep? That was when I lost it for the final time. All the other conversations where he was like wishy-washy with her, I let it slide. I did. I was like, okay, you know what? You unsure, you're not confident. Cam was kind of going through the same thing initially. You know, now Felipe's having that issue where he's not sure about the marriage piece and if he really wants to be married to her. I let it go. I did. I lost it, but then I found it. When we get here, I have already decided y'all don't need to be a couple. I have lost it so much at this point, I don't see it for Tori and Felipe. I really don't. I hate the fact that he's putting her through this cycle. I hate the fact that he told her he want to sleep with other women and she's just taking it to the face. I hate the fact that she feels like she has to give him so much grace. You don't. I hate the fact that Tori is still standing there and like trying to figure it out and crying over him. For what? I was too, but in that car, that makes perfect sense. Again, he's a mama's boy. So guess what his mama would have probably done for him? He would have called his mother. His car broke down. She would have been the one to organize AAA to meet him on the side of the road. He wouldn't have done anything to protect her if somebody had come up and tried to steal something. Like, that's a dangerous position to be in anyways, but Felipe don't make me feel safe. Felipe don't do nothing to make me feel safe. So why are you married to him, Tori? Because now I'm concerned, like, about your judgment. Why are you married to Felipe? When all that man do is make you feel worthless. Really? That man literally lives to make her feel insecure. And, like, he doesn't know if she's worth being with. Because God forbid he have to be with just one woman. I wrote that in my notes. Okay, when she broke up with him, first of all, she said, you can go back to the single life. My boy threw his legs up in the air and rolled off of that bed immediately. He said, don't go back on that now. Wait a minute, we can go back on a lot of things, the vows included, but do not go back on my singleness. My freedom is right here at this door. And I thought it was hilarious because when he got downstairs, he want to act all sad. Didn't you just yell at your wife, telling her you don't understand her feelings, which were very valid, clear, and rational? You gonna then go downstairs and cry in another man's arms. I told y'all be steady talking about the fact that Mecca and Shawn are queer. Y'all ain't looking at the right people. If you ask me, you ain't looking at the right people, because why would you leave your wife who's crying in the bed? You can't cry with her, but you go cry in another man's arms. Now make that make sense. Now, when the last time you seen that go on in a straight man's world? I'm trying to figure out where they do that at. And then downstairs, you got all these men crowding around him. He's telling them they just broke up. And they ain't no help. And you know, this is how I know these men are like not, and I don't know if it's the alcohol or what, but oh, Sandra, he done made that up. Ain't no women. Ain't no women. He done just made that up. Why is Mecca the voice of reason when Felipe comes down there and he's like, I don't understand why she's upset? If Mecca has to be the voice of reason, the room itself is not looking good. Mecca has to be the one to tell him she's right. It's not just about you. You are making her look bad. Felipe, you ain't understand that before Mecca said it? It took Mecca saying it for you to understand that it's not just you. And then I love the fact that Mecca took accountability because he said we weren't thinking about her feelings either. When we were nominating you in that game, we thought it was funny. Why would it be funny for him to be voted the worst husband, basically? I was like, not Mecca. Right, Sandra. Because I was like, Mecca got to be the voice of reason. Like, I'm going to read to y'all the things that they voted him for. And I think that all of these questions were set up by producers to be just messy. Production don't care about these people at all on this show. That's why they're putting them in these situations, is to make them crazy. That's why Mecca talking crazy about Belle confuses me. Sir, you clearly know better. Kiana, is he know better? He can't do better. Right now, he gotta go see the lady. Mecca gotta see that lady bad. Cause first thing Monday morning, he need to be in her office immediately. Those games are messy and not productive. Not at all. Not at all. So the most likely spouse is the name of this game. And they pull a question and read it. The group has to point at the person who's most likely to do the thing on the card or the little sheet. And most likely to flirt with the waitress, Felipe. Most likely to hook up in a public place, Felipe. Most likely to get caught lying about where they were last night, Felipe. Most likely to put their foot in their mouth, Felipe. Most likely to be ready, never be ready for marriage, Felipe. Now, how you sound not being ready for marriage when you already married? Most likely to send news to the wrong person, Felipe. And then Felipe gets the trophy and takes a shot out of it. Now, does that sound like a man that cares about his marriage? Because I'm trying to figure out where is the care? Where is the concern for her and her feelings? Felipe don't care about nothing but Felipe and a good time. He gonna let those men disrespect his marriage every single time. And that's exactly what it was, disrespect. And she did not deserve that from Felipe and the boys. Not you playing the game at home, being messy with these men. What's crazy is some of those could have definitely gone to other people. Who's most likely? Oh, wait. Let me see. Hold on. Who's most likely to not be truthful about where they were? Some of that could have been Mecca, put his foot in his mouth. Maybe it is Mecca, but he hasn't done it as loudly as Felipe, to be honest. I think Felipe has been honest to a point where it is almost crazy. And Felipe, and the only reason we know Mecca has been putting his foot in his mouth a lot is because we were with him on the honeymoon. Like camera wise, we were with them when he said that 80-50 150 thing, and then we were also with him when he said he wasn't attracted. Remember, the rest of the table didn't hear that, so they won't know about that until later. The boys, I don't think. Oh wait, they had the boys heard about that yet? Not yet. The boys didn't hear about that yet, I don't think. And the girls hadn't either by the time they played this game, so they didn't know he was saying all of this to Belle. Like, Caitlyn definitely could, but you know she would have flipped out if she got voted for that. You know she would have flipped out. Caitlyn, they know better than to play with her. They should have played We're Not Really Strangers or something. Why don't these games ever lead to improved connections? Because Kiana, the whole goal with Peacock is to destroy these relationships. You can't tell me nothing else. If you make it through this, you stronger than Brick, baby. If you make it through this show, you have to be stronger than Brick. Because what do you mean your relationship can withstand 6 other couples coming for you, coming for your neck? like scrutinizing every little thing that you guys do together. Like that is a certain level of strength that most people don't have in their couples. And I think that that's the thing. Um, Mecca got most likely to self-sabotage, so they did call him out like for that. And then what I didn't like this, but I'ma just say it anyways. Most likely to get the ick was Caitlyn. And she laughed about it. I don't think that's funny because remember, you're getting the ick about your husband. So why is that funny, Caitlyn? Why are you laughing? That's not funny. That's not, I mean, he's already feeling like he's the only husband that's not really getting anything from his wife. I don't find Caitlyn's behavior okay. And she's laughing. And then most likely to opt for a swap, if you could, was also Caitlyn. But if Devin did that, she would have been mad. Beyond mad. Like, let me tell you something. If Devin even sneezes too loud, that girl mad. She don't like him. And and I like Devin, so this isn't me talking. But like, if she could get away from that man, she would. I think she sees him like the boogeyman or something. She don't like that man. And she's trying she's trying not to be rude on camera, but it's coming across so bad. It's insulting that reality TV producers think that we want to see more mess instead of real connections. I don't know, friend. Because I'm going to tell you this. What I found is this season gets active online when it is messier. And I know this because I track my analytics across my posts. You know what really enrages people? When a man says something to a woman. My post about Courtney don't take off. If y'all go look at my stats on this, I've been keeping notes on it. If I center Courtney as a topic, nobody cares. If I center Caitlyn, nobody cares. But when I center something about men being terrible to women, that's when it flips. They are going to continue to choose trash men for this show because it tracks with conversation. And especially now that Peacock has taken over the show, it's no longer about love, it's about viewership. And the viewership has gone up exponentially. And people do watch reality TV to pick sides. And I don't talk like that. So if y'all notice, I add a lot of nuance, a lot of context, and a lot of depth to these people because I don't want us to treat them like characters. There's the good guy and the bad guy. This ain't Batman and Robin. Like this is real people. Like they're not good or bad. They just have flaws. Now logic, arguable. Everybody else, normal. I think that we all have bad traits and then we all have really good qualities as well. And sometimes we lead with those bad qualities. So I think our good, you better take it where you can get it, but I think our good this season is supposed to be Michelle and Cameron. I think we just supposed to I think everybody just supposed to get excited to see Michelle and Cameron happy. Caitlyn was so rude but got mad because Devin asked, can I watch, for one of the questions. She is just rude and nasty. Her and Courtney, I swear they need to be together. That is really where she need to be. And it's just just terrible. Oh, we about to get a rainstorm tomorrow. I hate when people call them. Okay, can I tell you something else that I've been hating lately? And some creators, like I don't even watch their videos anymore. I hate assigning a sexual orientation to someone other than the one that they tell me. I hate it. I hate it. Another thing that I hate that people are doing this season is making people like, what's the word? Predators when they're not. Okay? I think that there are people who actually hurt people in this world. I absolutely do. I think that there are people who go out here into the world to assault people and women. I do not like it when people oversimplify that and start to call people essayers when they have no proof that they've essayed anyone. Okay, let's stop. Let's deal with the behavioral patterns we actually see and don't create any in our fantasy world and project them onto people. Okay, this is what I can identify and this is what I would have done instead, but you do not have to call people essayers to get your point across. Does that make sense? How do you feel about him being an atheist and she's a Christian trying to raise kids and be married? So for me, Vina, it doesn't bother me because I will say this. People of different religions can make their relationships work, and they can also have their children choose. Um, yeah. My friend's dad was Muslim, her mom was Christian, and she never wavered in where she was going to choose. She always chose to be Christian. Like her mom went to a Baptist church. And so she went. And so that was good enough. Like, right? And I don't think it's really as big of a deal now in 2026 because I think we're all understanding religions a lot more. There's tons of literature out that we can all read, hopefully, at grade level and understand like that the religions aren't too far apart. And so you being Catholic and me being Pentecostal, like different, but we can meet in the middle, right? Um, so yeah. When I found out about their belief systems, I felt like it wouldn't work. I don't know why though, because he doesn't go to church, so it isn't like, oh, the child will have to choose which church to go to with a parent. He's gonna let her do most of the rearing because he is from Brazil. In my, well, I don't know this to be true, but I feel like he would be let her be the mom since she really wants to be a mom and he doesn't. It seems kind of up in the air for him, since he doesn't want to be a dad. And I feel like because of that, she would pass on her religion, her culture, her views to the child because the mom brings culture into the house. Yeah, Kiana, and there are a lot of people that feel that way. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are like, absolutely not. You bringing the demons in the house if we not of the same religion, right? And that's also fine. I just don't. That didn't bother me. It was more important that they align on their goals long term, their lifestyle. Like, do you stay out until 4:30, and does she stay out till 4:30? Right? Those are more important and practical in an everyday sense than do you go to mass on Sundays or do you go to a Baptist church? Like, I don't think that that matters. She's going to do everything on her own. She is. If she stay with this man, I hope she don't. My God. Po Tori, but like, do not stay with this man. He doesn't seem against Christianity. Seems more indifferent than anything. Correct, Raven. So my friend is actually agnostic, so she's not against learning about different religions. She just has never believed in one, and when she's explored or read about them, they just don't seem realistic to her. And so her take is whatever brings you comfort, do that. And so even though I love her to death, right, it's like interesting how different we were raised. I was raised in a very Christian household, but it doesn't bother me at all. I don't even think about that outside of the context of, you know, this is something that we're talking about. But I don't care. And I don't think she would care if her partner was religious or not either. Um, but did we talk? Oh, no. I'm still thinking Felipe and Tori. Felipe and Tori still got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Hold on. When Felipe and Tori talk about their relationship ending, I thought it was also interesting that he kept going back to this point where you got to give me grace. I want to ask you guys if you feel like she has been anything other than gracious, because I feel like she's had too much grace for Felipe. I feel like she's had too much empathy. I feel like she's worked harder than anybody on this show. I feel like she's taken more hits to her self-esteem and mental than anybody dealing with Felipe. I feel like she has extended a lot of grace, and it sounds like she does a lot of them, well, the majority of housework as well, even though he doesn't go to work until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I feel like she's just done nothing but extend grace. Breezy, let's talk about it. I do too. I think his mom and dad both give him the world on a silver platter. And while you want to love your children, at what point do we also say that they are human, they're flawed, and they're going to make mistakes? And part of your job as a parent is not to condone that. Not to condone this idea that we just got to get over your shortcomings. this idea that everybody's just gonna have to deal with you as you are and come as you are. No, no, no. You're gonna have to shape up and ship out, because at some point, I'm sick of this too. If you are this inconsiderate to your wife, what do you take for granted from your parents and friends, and coworkers, and like, what do you take for granted in life when you just show up so poor? I can't imagine treating my spouse like that, but anybody, right? Like, I don't know. I think she's been very gracious to him, and she has given him more grace than he deserves. He wants princess treatment, but I would be fine with him giving princess with them give him her giving Felipe princess treatment, right? Is okay to me. I just want him to return it. So if you're expecting exponential grace, that means you also need to give it to her. How about that? Both of you guys have unlimited grace for each other. But I don't think he gives her the grace, because grace would also mean you make a request of me and I do my best to meet that request. I'm not yelling at you because you want me to be considerate of your feelings. That's not gracious. Being gracious is, you work all day, then I'm gonna do everything I can to make your life easier at home, because we give each other grace. And not expecting you to get off after a long day and do all the housework too. That's not grace. She deserves to come home and take a nap too. She tired. Like, why is he not being gracious to her? He feels like he can't be himself, his real self. Okay, here's what I think he means. Oh, and y'all can tell me how you feel. I think his real, well, what he's saying is I don't want parameters put on my life in any way. And I want the freedom to show up as I am at all times, and you never correct any of those behaviors. I think he's saying part of loving me means loving me in my rights and my wrongs. And I've made this, I think, in a video talking about loyalty. I said, do y'all actually want like somebody that's got your back, or do you want blind loyalty? Because it sounds like a lot of people want blind loyalty and allegiance. Don't ever correct my behavior. Don't ever tell me that I can't disrespect you or hurt you or whatever. You just supposed to be in my corner no matter what. Hold on. Do I look like Boo Boo the Fool to you? Because what you mean, I can't correct your behavior when it hurts me. If you're hurting me, why can't I make a request that you stop hurting me and be considerate of me? Am I not worthy of that? He wants to be single so bad because his stocks are about to go up because of the show. Sandra, I don't see it. I'm sorry. You can't get me on this bandwagon, okay? Now, Shawn is definitely a 10. I see it. I see it clear as day. Shawn is a 10. But this is a 10. Like, exactly. And I think Breezy, more importantly, he would need someone that doesn't have needs of him. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't ask me to walk the dog. Don't ask me to clean the kitchen. I will not be wiping no toilets. Don't ask me to pick up no slack. Don't ask me to go get the newspaper. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not moving. I'm not living in suburbs. I don't care if you have kids. Don't ask me to pick them up from school one day. I don't care. Those are your kids. This is your house. And I just live in it. And this is my world. Like, that is, he wants a mother. He wants a mother. Period, Raven. You're not. You're not. I will not hear of it. Felipe needs Marissa. I don't know. Do y'all think Marissa is gonna say yes to Adam on decision day? I'm not saying that she will or won't though, but I'm just saying, do y'all think that she will? In your opinion, or from what you guys can predict, do you think that she's going to choose to be married to him after this? I hope not. I have no idea. I don't know, because for me, they're making plans now long term. Um, but I just don't know with them. I really, really don't. And I guess it depends on how bad she wants a husband. Does she want to play pickleball every day and practice every night and get off work and jet ski out and kill her back trying to get there? Him going 65 miles an hour. Oh God, the homeless man roaming around, but we'll see. Um, right, Kiana, because he don't care. That man don't care. He is here for a good time, not a long time. Felipe is here for a good. This man is here to play. And the fact that you playing on my Peacock is crazy because I paid $10.99 a month for this. I did not pay to see Felipe on my screen talking about all the hoes he got to get. I didn't pay for that. I paid for a marriage. I came here to see y'all try to get married and live together forever. I did not. I didn't pay for this. I don't see it for Marissa and Adam in the long run, even if they say, yeah, it's going to be really hard to change him because he's so stuck in his ways. And Marissa's not going to demand that he goes to therapy with her. I don't think that she's going to demand that he does the work. And because she won't stand up for herself, she's just going to become extremely resentful. And I think that Marissa is going to divorce him at some point, even if they did say yes. The push-ups on the boat was an insult to me. I think the push-ups on the boat with Adam and Marissa was his way of saying, don't talk to me about anything. I don't want to have depth. I don't want to have a serious moment. I just want to play again. So play with me. And it feels like you're on a date with a child. I did not come on a romantic hot tub date to do anything other than be romantic. Like, do not take me on a hot tub date and ask me to do push-ups. And the fact that she did it, crazy. Because the way I would have looked at him like he was stupid. and like, y'all would really think that I had hearing problems or I needed a hearing aid or something, because the way I would just be staring at these men when they make requests of me, Felipe could not have a conversation with me, because I'm not going back and forth with a man that looks like this. I refuse. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. I will never go back and forth with Felipe. As she knows she don't want is that man, girl, stop playing. They had one serious conversation. Okay, so Marissa and Adam have tried to increase emotional depth. I don't think he lets her stay in it long. I remember the one intimate conversation they had about their childhood and finances. She opened up about being financially in a hard spot with her parents, and he was like, okay, what's your favorite position? Okay, this is too serious. What you want to talk about next? He would just switch the conversation, and I think that's probably how a lot of their conversations go, is they start like her digging a little bit deeper, and then he'll ask something off the wall to switch to something lighter that doesn't require much intimacy from him. Like, you have to open yourself up to this experience. You, Caitlin, all y'all get on my nerves. Why come on this show if you don't want to be serious? Prime example. Why come on the show if you don't want to be serious? Why are you here? Wasting this beautiful lady's time. This nice young lady, and she got to put up with you. Oh, Adam will definitely tell you the divorce came out of nowhere. Like, you know, we're on vibes though. The vibes just were off at the time, and now that we're separated, things are good. The vibes are back. We're just high vibes. The experts have got to do better. They're not even in control. I promise y'all, as much as this show sets it up to make it look like they decided, no. Production had a short list for y'all. They've already made the couple and pairings. They probably get to pick the last 7 out of 10 couples that they have listed, and they go with the ones that they feel are the better matches, probably. They don't get a lot of say. And remember that just like Love is Blind USA, this is run by Kinetic. Kinetic is in charge of this. And because Kinetic is in charge of this, y'all know how they run Love is Blind. Just reckless, letting anybody on the show. As long as they're attractive, and these people are, you know, tolerable at best. But they're tolerable, the men. And as long as you that, you get on the show, you're going to be entertaining to watch. I've experienced that in college. I would be talking about something serious, and the guy would be like, you are so pretty. Kiana, because people are dumb. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get married at first sight, you cannot stay on the surface level like Adam and Marissa. That relationship is not going anywhere. that relationship is going to be at a dead end because they have no emotional intimacy at all. All they do is vibe out together. Or as Adam says, vibe to the max. I don't want to vibe to the max with my husband. Like, who chooses that as a lifestyle? Adam. Now, I do think that that's why I think Shawn was correct to ask him to dig a little bit deeper. Adam didn't take it well, but he did ask him to. Let's see. Is there anybody else that we forgot or anything that we did not talk about, guys, from episode 16? This is them going to the retreat. What is full sending? I don't know what that means. What does full sending mean? Hold on. Google. I always tell y'all to go to Google. Let me go to Google. Full send. I've never heard of full sending. Fine. Full sending. Oh, trying hard. Oh, this gave me something about data sync and replication. Oh, this must be a tech bro saying. They might have turned that into language, but I've never heard of full sending before ever. Oh no, that's full seating. First of all, it would help if I spelled it right. Oh, it's climbing slang. Okay, this comes from climbing, originating in the 1990s rock climbing world. Oh. Okay, so wait. So Marissa used that word, or was I using it wrong? But oh, that's his. So she was saying full sending. It's 100%. Committing 100% to a risky or intense action. Yeah, I don't full send very much. I don't full send. With maximum effort and zero hesitation. Oh, I'm always going to hesitate. Regardless of potential consequences or failure. Lord have mercy, this word has a lot to it. Okay, this is a long definition. Now, he didn't need princess treatment. He needs to lead and protect. I don't require that of a man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I listen. Listen, the one thing I know how to do is protect, okay? And I'm a really good leader. But the thing is, what I do want you to do is make sure that we're equal on that. So I don't require it, but you should be able to do something to help me. Don't just sit there. Don't just sit there. You better come up with something. My cousin Darnell lived 2 miles from here. Let me just call him and see if he can come pick us up so we can at least wait in a safe space. That's what real men do. Like real men would be like, oh, let me look under the hood just to make sure it's not something we can easily like cool with some water. If so, we can go down to Publix, get a case of waters and make sure that we cool it down, or some ice. Like real men do have some solutions. Does Adam look black to y'all? Yes, Kiana, I can definitely see that, but we don't claim him, so let's act like we didn't even say that or acknowledge it. Just act like it didn't happen. We not gonna claim Adam. That's not it. How would not know what to look for? He would not know what to look for. He wouldn't, and that's the sad part. Is like we need to be working together as a team. So in everything, I would be looking for a solution. I would not let my kid so if he was a dad, right, in this situation, and they're much further on in their relationship, and the kids are on the back seat, you just gonna let them sit on the side of the road, knowing somebody could come through and ram y'all right in the back? You not gonna suggest how we get up out of here for safety reasons? Like he wasn't. He literally did this with her hand. and I was annoyed for her because what is this gonna do? Lift the hood and see what's going on. Do you need me to help you? Like I will get the flashlight out of the trunk, but like what we gonna do it together? Like you should be willing to do it. And I've seen so many accidents where people get hit like that, just sitting on the highway and the cars are going at least 60 miles an hour. So you're comfortable with your wife and possible kids one day just sitting on the side of the highway. No plan B. And it sounds like she knew her car was struggling a little bit because she was like, oh man, it's done me so well. We might be car shopping. This don't sound like the first problem. Because the first problem, you're looking for a solution. You're not just like, why didn't he take the lead then and just get a rental car? Because that's what I would have did. I'm not going to have my wife driving around unsafe in a car, or suggested it to her. We should have just rented a car. And I'm not even the husband, but that would have been my suggestion. If my man's car is messing up, we just gonna rent one for the weekend. Tori seems like she wants a traditional marriage. Did they talk about roles? They have not talked about it on camera, Breezy. We've been so busy dealing with his in and out behavior. We haven't even talked about his role in the marriage. I don't really know what she expects from Felipe. Just to listen to her probably would help. But she hasn't said like, oh, be, a fixer, a doer. She said this was unattractive though, that he was just sitting in the car. He could have at least climbed over to her side to get you so you are on the side of traffic. Agreed. Run your behind across the front of this car. I'm gonna cross over, or I'm gonna run if he can open his door on that side and get out, and you just cross across the seat, and I'm gonna get in on this side. Like that would have been the polite thing to do. But even then, if the car is overheating, I would have told her we got to make it to the next exit somehow. Somehow, some way, we got to get off of this, because at least on the exit ramp, there's a little bit of division between you and the highway. He can't even help with car shopping. What did he say? I'll be there holding your hands. Right. And she was like, just be there, just be the husband there, silent, waiting. Because he ain't got an offer. He can't do nothing. He don't know what to do. Does he not have a car? That's also a possibility I did not think of. Does he not have a car? Raven, people will do it all the time. Like, I have seen so many cars on the side of the highway with like people will leave a towel out of the window or a white t-shirt to let you know they're coming back for it. But it's basically like so they don't have to pay the towing fee. So if they know they need an oil change, they'll bring so and so out whenever they get a day off work to come do it, so they don't have to pay the towing fee to get it there. Or, bring gas back. If they run out of gas, they'll just have a family member bring them back. His mama take his car to the shop. Listen, I ain't even gonna say nothing because my daddy do it. I'm not sitting up there all day. And my dad does all of my oil changes and brakes and all that stuff for me, so I ain't gotta worry about that. Why was she the one driving anyway? Because I'm sure she don't trust him. If your car has issues, you really think that Felipe is going to be careful not to run that thing hot? He probably pedal to the metal, baby. Pedal to the metal in her car, knowing it's not good. I'm just lazy, Kiana. And like the thing is, I can't afford to be lazy because I live by myself. So like I this summer, right? So like if y'all don't know, I'm pretty okay with doing handy things. So last year I actually killed all the grass off at my house and put down new grass seed. I had a beautiful lawn, exquisite care. I was putting down like mesotrione and all these chemicals. I was fertilizing on a 6-week schedule to make sure that it was healthy and thick and luscious. I mean, I tilled the soil by myself. I also put down all my seed and all this stuff. I'm very handy when I need to be, right? And then this summer, because of Love Island, and y'all, if y'all know, y'all know, I've been on the Love Island thing and on here. I wasn't taking care of my lawn. I just now, speaking of yesterday, got up at 7 a.m. to go out there and cut that lawn since June. I had just let it grow. Like, let it go. It was like a baby forest out there. But I got through it. Like, I can do it, but I would rather not. You're right. I would rather not, or pay somebody else to do it. But Felipe literally just sat there, didn't pay, didn't call nobody or nothing. He sat there like this with her. That's my issue. What is this going to do for me? What is this going to do for me? This don't work. That don't do nothing. I don't need you to know how to fix a car. I do need you to know how to come up with solutions, period. Period, Raven. Because as long as the two of us are thinking, we're good. And the thinking shouldn't all come down to me. Because the moment he saw the car smoking, I would have preferred him say, "Oh, this is unsafe for us to even be here. Like, let me just call somebody, like, to get us to the gas station, and then at least, we can always get the car there, a rental there or something." Like, I don't know, but they just sat there. They just sat there. And I was expecting him to maybe call one of the other couples to see if they were behind them, because I'm sure they weren't the last couple. I would have just been like, "Hey, where y'all at? We on so and so at the side of the road. Can we ride up with y'all?" Like, I'm surprised he just sat there though. I don't know what else I expected Felipe to do though. He clearly isn't used to dating eldest daughters. You need to be useful. Otherwise, you're taking up space, period. And in this house, we do not take up space. My mama don't let me act like no Felipe. I'm not allowed to act handicapped. I've got to get up and I've got to problem solve. Like, ain't no way you get to be an adult and as an eldest daughter and you don't take responsibility for the household. Ain't no way. And that's exactly how it felt, Breezy. He basically told Tori, "Your car, your problem. It overheat, it explode. That's on you. You need a new car? Leave me out of it, baby. I don't know what I'm gonna do for you. You figure that out." Oh God. I can do better for myself. Period, Tyler Perry. Period. Yeah, I feel like for me, this relationship should have ended a while ago. That's just how I feel personally. Everybody's entitled to their feelings, but I don't see what they're holding on to, and I don't see the beauty of this relationship. Is it just me? Because I don't see what they see in each other. Now, tomorrow, I just want to give you guys a heads up. We're going to do episode 17. We're going to come on around 5 o'clock like we did today. I'll probably also start over on TikTok, but I'm also here too. So that's my bat signal to everybody. We're gonna try to get everybody to come over here to YouTube. I know it's a harder transition for some people. I don't know if people just aren't used to watching lives on YouTube, but it's very much the same. And so I'm not sure why people are like shocked that they're up using YouTube Live, but this is my preferred platform right now, and I love our little community here, and I'm sure it'll be growing with time. On August 31st, just a general announcement, since all of y'all are already here, I might as well tell you. August 31st, you guys were doing the reunion live here on YouTube. Okay, you guys are going to be my primary. Even if I do have a TikTok up, I probably won't be looking at that camera or paying attention to it. It'll just be for hours over there on TikTok, but you guys will actually be my focus. So if you want to engage with the live, I recommend you come here. I don't plan on engaging with the TikTok as much. It'll just be for hours. And I'm going to recap it as soon as the episode is over at 11. If you want a notification, you can go to the actual live section of my page here on YouTube and click the notify me button, and it'll send you a reminder when we're starting. I like the chat function here. I hate the character limit on TikTok. Kiana, you right. It is annoying over there on TikTok, and they have too many restrictions. I find that I get restricted a lot over there because we talk about some hard topics. We talk about harassment. We talk about SA. We talk about bullying. We talk about coercion. We talk about things like race and racism. And those topics don't do well on TikTok. They restrict me, even though I'm not saying anything harmful, right? We're talking about reality TV. We have to talk about race. It's a part of it. I don't understand. Exactly. And I feel like I be making up words. I hate that. Like, no, these are real things that women and men worry about every day. Let us talk about it. If people are being hurt by something, let us mention it. It's not that big of a deal. Last year I lost my TikTok for like 7 days, my YouTube TikTok live access, because I showed Amaya's old Facebook post where there was some colorism, and it just cut off. But then I come over here and people were talking about it liberally. Like, it was fine. So I should have switched to YouTube last year, being honest with you, but I wasn't sure how to work the platform. And now I'm like, whatever, I'll figure it out as I go. Again, this recap is going to be posted for anybody who like came in late. You were like, oh, I missed part of it. It'll be live tomorrow. It takes about 24 hours ish for it to come up. So probably 12 p.m. tomorrow it'll be up. And that way you guys can watch it 2 times the speed if you want to, because this is long. This is like 2 hours of me talking and talking to you guys. And I like this because if I download the TikTok live, you guys can't see your questions. So it's like, what is she talking about? I'm answering your questions, but you guys can't see it. Here, because I have the live replay on, you guys can see the questions I'm responding to. I've already watched it, girl. I binge watched that yesterday. And we're, as soon as we finish watching, or as soon as we finish going live talking about Married at First Sight on Sunday, I'm going to be on here all next week talking about Love is Blind UK. So you guys be ready. Y'all going to see my face every day, because we're going to be going straight from Married at First Sight right into Love is Blind UK, and then back into Married at First Sight again. We're going to be on here every day around 5 p.m. up until the reunion, basically. I mean, it's 8 episodes of Love is Blind. Now, episode one was pretty short. Not a lot happened on Love is Blind UK. So I think I might do episode 1 and 2 combined as one live, but then keep doing the lives based on that. Also, too, over here, another thing is sharing this live out. I realize that I don't know if people really share these out as much, but definitely if you can share these out, that helps to get more people in the room. Also, you guys, I post recaps for Married at First Sight, and I'm going to do it with Love is Blind 2 next week, because I try to put out 1 video a day so they aren't competing with each other in the algorithm. So I don't do a whole bunch of videos for the recaps at once for my long form. So that way I can get to my 4,000 hours before February 1st. That is my goal. Right now, I think I'm only at I'm at less than 100 hours probably. And we're trying to get to that 4,000 watch hours. So if you guys got an extra TV somewhere, turn on my videos, my long form, not my shorts, and let them play out, babes. All right. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow around 5 p.m.